Welcome to the Science Kitchen. Today we're making soup. Not just any soup, but onion soup. And that's French onion soup. Here in the Science Kitchen, we use food and cooking as an anchor scenario for science education. Today, we're using a simple recipe for French onion soup with its 4 ingredients to show you how to do that. We've created 4 modules that illustrate many scientific principles as related to cooking French onion soup. In today's module, called Take a Close Look, we will show you how to use the onion from your soup to demonstrate cell biology and reproduction. If you haven't set up a Gmail or Facebook account, now is the time to set that up. Let's begin by looking at the whole recipe and getting a taste for what's yet to come.
Soup à l'oignon. Soup à l'oignon. Soup à l'oignon. Here's what you need: an onion, broth, bread, cheese. Here's how you do it: brown, boil, pour, and eat. What you need is a French onion. No matter, plain brown, not red, not white, not green. What you need is French bread. No matter, plain old stale bread, cut to pieces. What you need is French broth. No matter, plain broth, beef, bird, veg, all good. What you need is French cheese. No matter, shred together Comté, Gruyere with Swiss or Emmentaler. Shred together. Okay, make it now. Slice the onion. Use half. Chop, chop. The taste in your eyes. Tough it out. Make it now. Saute. Not so hot. Medium hot. Onions, white again. Make them brown in a pot with some oil. Make it now. Simmer. A pint of broth in the pot. Onions floating, boil for 5. Make it now in the bowl. While it's cooking, cup of cheese, French cheese, cup of bread, French bread, in the bowl. Ladle cooked, onion broth, cheese melts, bread floats. Eat it now. Plain old onion soup. Here's what you need: an onion, broth, bread, cheese. Here's how you do it: brown, boil, pour, and eat. Soup à l'oignon.
You may have noticed that in the last module we talked about the different kinds of onions and classifications and concluded that any kind of onion you want to use is good for French onion soup. I prefer the brown onion, but I've tried them all. So if you want to try them all, then you can decide for yourself. So just what are we going to talk about today? Again, last time we learned about different classifications and chose an onion to use in our soup. Today, we're going to, say it with me, chop that onion. Once again, chop that onion. Then we'll look closely at the onion using the onion skin and its root tip and a microscope. So let's go chopping.
Cut the onion in half that way, peel it, leave the nub on, then slice this way, slice this way. Careful here, your knife has to be sharp or it'll slide and chop your fingers off. Congratulations, you did a great job. This next technique was the main way people chopped things before the 40s when knives were invented, and what you want to do is just firmly throw it against the wall. From there you can just grab each other individual piece and chuck that against the wall to make it more fine. The next technique you'll only be able to do if you have a yellow belt in Taekwondo like me, and if you beat your cousin Chris to win first place at the St. Clair College tournament, then you'll be able to pull this one off. So what you want to do is just line up your hand and give it a good... Look at that. That is a nice clean hit right there. Alright, next technique's pretty straightforward. You want to take your knife, you get a AA battery, and you touch the positive end to the knife to get that electricity flowing. You just want to come up and touch. See, I made the classic blunder of not peeling it first, so now I'm going to have to go through and take the skin off. Don't be stupid like me. This next one will be easy for you if you have a breakdancing background. It's definitely advanced. It sometimes takes a few tries, but you're just trying to get sort of on the form. Trying to hit the right spot on the forearm. There we go. This is one of my favorites because it relies on the power of sound. What you want to do is put some headphones on the onion, and then you just dial in the specific frequency of Nickelback, and this next one relies on pressure. You want to take a really small frying pan, and you got to hit it just hard enough to shatter, but do not go too hard. So you want to just wind up and just give it a nice, firm strike. Damn it, see, I went too hard and I got black beans. You go even harder than that, you end up with corn. So the last technique relies on centrifugal force. What you want to do is wind up and give your onion a good spin, and all that happens is you end up making your onion dizzy, and you should probably have more respect for your onion than that, considering what you're about to put it through. Okay, bye!
So here's the real story. To cut an onion, the first thing you want to do is slice it, and you slice it from the root end towards the other end. This is after you take the peel off, of course. And you make several slices, and this is illustrated in the left picture. If you're going to make chopped onions, you would then make a couple of horizontal strokes into the onion at the cut end, and then cut crosswise like is shown in the second picture. And then minced onions, it's basically the same as chopped onions, only you just make the pieces a little smaller. For my soup, I just slice. There's some people in my family that love onion soup, but the onions don't love them. Slicing makes the onion easier to pick out because the pieces are bigger, and they taste just as good. But for your soup, experiment, make it your own way. Now, you try it. Take the onion that you brought today and chop it up. We'll pause the video here for a little bit. Post your photo on Facebook page. The Facebook page is shown on the website. Go ahead and comment. You know, look at anybody else's that happens to be out there, and make your comments. Was your knife sharp? Tell us what happened. Next time we'll talk more about those tears, though. Not so much today. So in our first section, welcome back, peeling back the onion, we talk about tools we can use to look deeper, to see farther into the onion. In You Can Sell Anything, that's about cell structures as seen in the onion skin. And mitosis covers cell reproduction using the onion root tip. So let's start with peel back the onion. Microscopes have developed over the years from a simple magnifier to many varieties of the modern microscope. In this exercise, I'd like you to take a Google Draw document. There's the address, and it's also on the web page, so you can copy it. Make a copy of it, and then give it your own name so that it's different. Otherwise, you'll be writing on each other's drawings. And then use the reference that I've also attached a link to give names to all the parts. And then when you're done with that, look at the 3 different microscopes and the 3 different designs and find 3 parts that do similar things in each of the microscopes that are shown. And then when you're done with that, go ahead and post it on our Facebook page, and then we'll take a look at that. So we'll be back. We'll pause the video now and come back in about, 5 minutes. Okay, welcome back again. So your answers should look something like this. The key parts that are similar on all 3 of them are some kind of lens, a way to focus the lens. In the older versions, the focusing was just moving it closer and farther from your eye. A light source of some kind, either the sun or a window, a mirror reflecting light from the window, or an oil lamp, or in some cases a light bulb, and some kind of specimen holder and a way to position the specimen so that it's within view. Something that's interesting is the upper left one, labeled figure 3, only uses 1 lens, and the other 2 use 2 lenses, which makes focusing a lot easier. So in this next exercise, we're going to put those smartphones to work. There are hundreds of apps available for smartphones that magnify things and then allow you to take a picture. So using your mobile phone, go out to the store, the Apple Store, the Google Store, wherever store you shop for apps at. Download a few of the magnification apps for your operating system. Go out and take some pictures. Take some close-ups and post a review of the apps that you tried on the Facebook page. Then this is something you can do at your leisure, and it'll be interesting to see each other's reviews, kind of like Yelp. So now we've moved on to You Can Sell Anything, which is about cells. The first thing we're going to do is a procedure for staining onion skin, and there's a little video that shows you how to do that.
We're going to learn how to make an onion slide to be able to look at under the microscope. So what you'll need for that is 1 glass slide. You'll also need 1 small glass cover slip. Now you will need to be careful with both of these because they are made out of real glass. You'll also need an onion, just any normal onion, a forceps, and also you'll need some iodine solution with a pipette. So what you need to do is take a small piece of your onion, so I've already cut a piece there, and if you notice on the inside you'll be able to, with the forceps, grab onto and peel off a very thin film which is on the underneath of the onion. And then what you need to do is, it'll take a little bit of teasing, you'll need to place that film of onion onto your slide. Take care to make sure that there's no bubbles underneath there, and then you'll need to use your iodine dropper and put just about 2 or 3 drops of iodine on there. And then grab your cover slide and lean it at an angle over the top of the onion, but just don't drop it yet. And then use your forceps to gently lower that cover slip down over the top of the onion, and that'll make sure there's no air bubbles. And then you have one slide ready to view under the microscope.
Okay, now you can try it. You have your onions that you've chopped, and there's probably a little piece that you can tease off. If you don't have any iodine, try something like beet juice. Many of you have access to a microscope. If so, great. You can look at your slide under the microscope. If not, you can use this photo. And when you finish your stain, go ahead and post a photo on our Facebook page, and we'll take a look at it. Some of the photos that I've taken are not as good as this, so don't be discouraged. So, looking at our onion skin, we can see three of the main structures of the cell. The nucleus and the cell wall and the cytoplasm. You need more advanced techniques and microscopes to see these other things. Three important ones to know about are chloroplasts, mitochondria, and ribosomes. The nucleus, which you can see, is the big round circle in the middle. It contains the cell's genetic material. The cell walls, pretty obvious. The mortar in between the cells, it's the hard structure that contains the cellular material. The cytoplasm, which is basically everything you can see as kind of a clearish area within those cells. It's kind of the gooey middle part. The chloroplasts, which you can't really see in this picture, these contain chlorophyll, and they turn light into carbohydrates, and they basically fuel the planet. Mitochondria, they're called the powerhouse of the cell. They use the energy to do things within the cell. And the ribosomes synthesize proteins. So now we're going to take this photo. I've posted it as a Google drawing, and there's a link on the website. Go ahead, make a copy, give it your own name, and then identify what you see and post it on our Facebook page. Should take you about 2 minutes. Okay, welcome back. So we're going to make another connection to the onion. The onion root tips are very often used to show different phases of cell division. Mitosis is the name given to this process of duplicating genetic material in the nucleus. And this is how things grow. A very fundamental concept in biology, and it's a big deal. So the next video will show you about what you can see in the onion root tip.
Onion root tip. If you take a close look, a very close look at this person or this dog or this tree, you'll see billions, maybe trillions of cells at work, growing and repairing damage. Each new cell is a building block of life, but where do the new cells come from? We're going to answer this question with a simple experiment. We only need a couple of items, a microscope and this prepared slide of an onion root. Be careful with the slide. If it breaks, clean up and throw away the glass properly. Oh, and I'll definitely need my science journal for notes and observations. Let's get started. A few quick adjustments on the microscope. Okay. Here's the onion root in various stages of cell development. I'm going to draw the different phases and label as much of the cell parts that I can in my science journal. Okay, I think I found all the phases of mitosis. Interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase, and here's one picture of a cell in cytokinesis. That's where the nucleus of a cell finishes dividing and the rest of a cell grows larger and divides in two. This cycle is continuous, and that is why we can see different phases in different areas of the onion root tip. I could tell the cell was in interphase because I found the entire nucleus inside. In this picture, the chromosomes lined up at the center, so I knew the cell was going through metaphase. And I finally figured out why we use an onion root. Because the root is constantly growing. New cells come from pre-existing cells. The cells in the tip of the root are going through mitosis all the time. That is, until this onion grows up big enough to get chopped into some salsa. Yeah. That would have a little zip to it.
So here's our last activity for this module. There's another Google drawing, and there's a link for it also on the website. And as before, go ahead and make a copy, name it your own, and then identify the 5 stages of mitosis that are visible. And for this one, I'd like you to send it to me at youarewhatyouate@gmail.com. And there's a great reference for you if you need to figure out what's what as far as the anaphase, telophase, metaphase, prophase stuff goes. And there's a link to that also shown there. So go ahead and do that. It'll probably take you 10 or 15 minutes, and pause the video and we'll see you then. So welcome back again. This pretty much wraps it up for today. For next time, we're going to talk about tear-free chopping. So I'd like you to research a little bit on the internet and then try 3 different methods of cutting onions with fewer tears. You'll find that everybody has their own special way, and be prepared to chat about it. Also, practice your chopping and mincing and slicing. And now that we know the onion pretty well, we're almost ready to eat it. So we'll see you next time.